After more than 2 years, how has the Beast Grip Pro camera cage held up? Was it worth the money? Is it really future-proof? I posted a video about this Beast Grip Pro camera cage more than 2 years ago, and the video is still getting views to this day. So I thought I would make this video and talk about, maybe answer a few questions that people might have. Am I still satisfied with this cage 2 years later? What type of video, what kind of work do I do with it? And what is my current setup after 2 years? And do I have any disappointments with the cage and thoughts and opinions, things like that? So this video is not sponsored by anyone, and all the gear you see in this video was purchased by either me or my company, Reckless Pixel Images, LLC. I'll put links to everything you see in this video in the description box down below. And of course, they're affiliate links. They don't cost you anything to click on them, and it helps this channel out a little bit. A subscribe would also help this channel out a lot too. So let's get right into it. As for the question to whether this cage is future-proof, that I don't really have a definitive answer, sadly, because I still use the same phone that I used with it 2 years ago. I still have the Samsung S23 Ultra. It's a decent phone. It works good. It records the video that I wanted to record. So I haven't really purchased a new phone to see if this older cage would go with it. But other than that, the cage is still here after 2 years of knocking it around. So in a way, yeah, it is future-proof, or at least it lasted. But will it work with new phones? I'm sure it will. I just never got a new phone to try that part out. So let's move on to the next question. Am I satisfied with this cage? And I would have to say, yes, I'm definitely satisfied with it. I still use it after 2 years, and it's held up. That's the biggest thing. I'm very rough on stuff. I'm not purposely abusive to my equipment, and I try to respect all my photo and video gear. But when you're using stuff for business purposes, and I'll tell you a little bit how I use this, but when you're using it for business purposes, things get knocked around. And if it's not tough, I definitely will be able to tell, because it won't last. I'll find some way, something will happen, even if it's accidental. I just have a cloud of bad luck that follows me around that way. So let's go on to the next thing. Okay, so what kind of video or what type of work am I doing with this camera cage? Now, I know a lot of people are buying this to put their phone in the air to capture cinematic video, content creators, and that sort of thing. And I fully understand that. That's not exactly what I use it for. I own, aside from my photography business, I own a catering business, and it's an odd little business. You're allowed to laugh if you want. It is a traveling barbecue business where we're mostly doing on-site pig roasting. And we're out for very long periods of time, and everywhere we go, we're traveling and we work out in the weather. So I use action cameras to capture stuff. I sometimes have my big DSLR, but this I have with me all the time. And just to give you an idea, the phone will go in there at it'll go into the cage about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and it will travel with me to wherever I'm going, be in there all day, and it will come out of the cage about 16 hours later. Now, I have other phones that I use for talking and messaging and stuff like that. So my S23 Ultra is kind of dedicated to go in here, and I don't have to take it out once it's in there. With that said, this thing's out on job sites. It's been in the rain, it's been in the sun, the heat. My crew that works with me knows that not to touch it, but at the same time, it still gets knocked around accidentally, and it has held up. But that's what I used. You basically use this camera cage for. Probably, I would want to say I am a lot rougher on this thing than the average person would be. The average person would probably take care of it. But with that said, this thing is in very, very good condition. Okay, let's look at my current setup. It's very similar to what I started out with 2 years ago because I don't like to fix anything that's not broken. I used the Beast Grip 58mm filter mount. You can see this in the first video that I did, and there's actually a reason why this filter mount is the best choice. And that's why I would urge you, if you're thinking about using this mount, to go back to, or using a mount, go back to my first video. I use a Tiffin 58mm black Pro Mist diffusion filter to take off the digital edge we get when recording video with a phone. Sometimes I'll remove the filter, but most often I leave it in there all the time. And as a side note, I love Tiffin filters. They're made in the USA, and I have other brands too. I even use a Hoya on the front of this for an ND filter, but I love Tiffin because they're really great quality. I've been using them for years. I've had to deal with customer service. They're very awesome, and the price is easy on my wallet. Well, in front of the Pro Mist, I use a Hoya 58mm variable ND. Again, remember, these filters have been on here for over 2 years, and everything works great. The newest addition to my phone rig is the DJI Wireless Mic 3. I love this mic because I can connect one mic directly via Bluetooth to the phone, or put the Mic 3 receiver on and connect more than one mic. Sometimes I connect up to 3 mics when we're out working on site and we want to get everybody on one video. It works great. Okay, and then this setup would not be complete without the PGY-Tech Mantis Pod Pro, and I'll talk just a little bit about this. This is the original one, and sadly, you are not going to be able to get this one unless you already have it. This deserves a whole video by itself, but they don't make it anymore, and nobody's getting this one. You're going to have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. I said 2 years ago that dollar for dollar, this right here in my hand is the best piece of photo gear I have ever bought, dollar for dollar. It is amazing, it's solid. So I love to use this. My PGY-Tech plate is on there, and I can go on there, lock this down, and I can go to handheld, I can go to tripod, and that kind of rounds out my setup right there. Okay, so do I have any disappointments about this cage 2 years later? And I would have to say no. At this time, I don't. I did have a disappointment in the beginning, and I'll explain it real quick. You can go see it in the other video, but in this video, I'm going to show you how I solved it. So when I put my Mantis Pod Pro tripod plate on the bottom, and I go to set this down on a flat surface, this plate, it would always want to fall to the side, and then the camera would fall over. So you want to set it down on the table and leave it upright. It would always fall over. And one day I decided that, hey, what if I put another plate over here? I can mount this over here, and let me show you. Let me show you exactly what I meant. If I can do this on camera really quick, I don't have to do. Okay, so what I wanted to do was something like this right here. And this way I could steady the camera a lot better than holding it with one hand. So when I put the plate over here, after I took the Mantis Pod Pro off, I realized I now had an even plane here and it wouldn't fall over anymore. So the only disappointment I had was that when I put a plate on here, it's not in the center, it's offset. The weight of this and the weight of the phone, it would always make it fall over this way and then fall over this way because this is so heavy. And now that problem is solved. So that is really the only disappointment I had. And now I have one more thing to show you that is totally awesome. How awesome is this? So 2 years ago, I never even thought about putting this on a gimbal. I used to use it handheld or on the tripod. I've had this gimbal for 2 months, And I just made a video about this. You can go check this video out. I just made it a while ago, not long ago. I figured out I can put this on here, and you can go check out the video. It's an amazing, amazing setup for this camera cage with a phone. So I'm ecstatic about this. This like kind of just give me a whole new, oh, it just opened up a new world of ideas for using this camera cage. I mean, I already loved it. Now I love it even more. Hey, if you liked this video and you found it helpful and informative, drop a like on it. That would be great. A subscribe would be even better yet. Remember, there's links to everything in the description box down below. And go check out one of these other videos. Go check out the video I just made where I put the camera cage on and you can see the active track working on that gimbal. Or check out the video from 2 years ago when I initially got the Beast Grip, and I do a little more in depth of how it feels in your hand. It's a real close-up video, awesome video. Go check. It's a video that still gets viewed to this day a lot. That's why I'm making this video that I'm making right here. Hey, most of all, have a great day.